Hello friends, welcome back. Welcome to my video. Now today we are going to implement and develop syllabus application number 40. Okay, I have discussed this application earlier in my previous video also when we were discussing content provider. Okay, but it was not possible to develop that application during that video because the length of the video was too much big, and we have spent so much time regarding uh, showing the content providers records, and in the next video we have also demonstrated and seen how can we add records. Okay, how can we add records to the content provider using intents. So now today in this video we are going to develop application number 40 of your syllabus, which is based on usage of content provider. Okay, in this application we have to show all the context of the contact application on the device, and we are also supposed to add record which will be entered by the client to the context application of the device. So actually, in other words, this application is mixing of combination of the previous two videos, previous two practicals that we have implemented. Okay, we have to show the records in a list view, and we have to also provide the facility to add record. Okay, but to add this record, earlier we have just add static record. Okay, now in this video we are supposed to capture input from the client, ask him to enter the name and contact number of that particular contact, and add that record which is entered by the client to the context content providers database. Let's see the definition. Okay, see, it is the definition number 40. Okay, create an application that designs a layout to take contact name, that is label, and phone number from the user. Okay, so we have to define a layout which will ask client to input name of the contact and phone number associated with that contact. That is one layout, and store it in the context using content provider. Now the data which is entered by the client, we should store it in the context table. Okay, that is content provider. Also design a layout to read phone context stored using content provider and display contact label in list view. Okay, so we have to define another layout in which there will be a list view, and inside this list view we have to show only the display name or the label of the contacts. Okay, we are not supposed to show the number, we just need to show the names of the contact. Okay, only one column. When the user selects any contact label in the list, okay, dialer application should be launched and calls should be made using dialer application. So another interesting thing to be implemented in this video is that when the list view is shown to the client, on clicking any of the contact, dialer view should be open, and phone number of that contact on which client has clicked should be shown in the dialer. Okay, and as we know that dialer has also a button to call, to put a call. Okay, and when client clicks on that call button, call should be launched or call should be initiated to that particular number. Okay, so actually we have to read both the things. We have to read both the things from the context table. Okay, we have to read the display name as well as phone number, because when client clicks on the list view we have to read phone number and put that phone number in the dialer application. So here again we have to do that complex task also. Okay, yet simple but complex because there are different tables, as I discussed with you in the previous video. There are different tables in which context data are distributed. Okay, display name of the contact is in one table and the phone numbers are in another table, so a bit complexity is there, but it is still easy to implement. Not a very big task, but you should have a good hand on your this logics, and you should practice for that. Okay, So let's start. What will we do? First of all, we should define a layout, that is second layout, in which there will be a list view, and list view will show all the names of the contact. And one more thing, in this layout we will also put options menu, and in options menu we will provide an option of adding a add contact. Okay, and when client click on add contact, we will open another layout or a dialog box in which we will ask client to enter contact name and number. Okay, and when that information is submitted, we will store that data entered by the client to the contact content provider. Okay, then after we will implement that dialing facility. Okay, then after we will provide that dialing facility. So let's start implementing. Okay, see, this is our application, activity number 21, and yeah, we will be implementing the code in activity number 20. So as I told you, first of all we will define the layout. Okay, in this layout of application activity 20, we will put a linear layout. Okay, now next thing, we will define a list view. Okay, a list view in this layout. Width and height will be set as match parent. Okay, match parent. I would also give ID to this list view. Contact list. Okay, and also set the margins 10 dp. Okay, so let's see how it looks. Okay, fine. Now moving towards the activity. In our activity we need list view reference. Okay, then a simple cursor adapter, then a cursor, okay, then string array from which column we want to show from the cursor. Yeah, contract dot context dot display name. Okay, display name. Then 2. Now 2 means where we want to show this column. For that, I would like to define another layout to customize the list view. So here I will define a layout. I would name it display name, okay, and the layout would be relative layout, okay. Let's put a simple text view in this layout resource file, okay. Yeah, here right now in our list view we just want to show a single column, a single item, okay. So we will put here only one text view, and we need to set the ID of the text view for like display name. It is the name of the layout itself. So we should give another name like just display, okay. Then width, wrap content, height, wrap content, text size 20 dp, text color red, okay. And just let's put just a text like display name, okay. Yeah, margin should be set, margin 2 dp, okay. See how it looks, okay. Layout height, layout width, defined, okay. Now the ID of this text view is display, so I need to define here another array of integer type r dot id dot display, okay. Now yeah, one more thing, content resolver, okay. And the value of this content resolver, first of all here list view is equal to list view find view by id r dot id dot contact list, okay. Yeah, it is contact list, okay. Then content resolver equal to get content resolver, then cursor equal to see, to retrieve the records from the contact content provider. First of all, as we know that the name of the contact is available in one table and the phone numbers are available in another table. So right now we just want to display the contact's name, so we will retrieve the display name of that particular contact, okay, from the contact content provider. Okay, cursor is equal to content resolver dot query. Okay, so now we would execute a query, and in this query we need to pass the parameters. First of all, the URI of the context contract dot context dot content URI. Okay, next column is projection. Which columns we want to retrieve? Right now we will retrieve only one column, that is display name, context contract dot contact dot display name. Okay, then everything else null. Okay, and okay, one comma is additional. Okay, what one more argument is to be passed or not? What is okay? Cannot resolve URI language string. Yeah, it is to be an array, new string. This argument, the list of columns, is to be array. Okay, and yeah, null. Again, one more argument, null is to be passed. Okay, now the records will be available in this cursor. Okay, and we need to set this cursor to the simple cursor adapter, new simple cursor adapter. First argument is the get application context, second argument is layout, r dot layout dot, what is the name of the layout, display name. Okay, third argument is cursor itself, fourth argument is from, we have defined a string array named as from 2. Again we have defined an integer array of id, that is 2, and the last argument flag will be passed as 0. Okay, once this adapter is retrieved and defined, we need to set this adapter to list view dot set adapter. Okay, one more thing, friends, to read context of the particular contact content provider, we need to request permission, and that permission is read context. Okay, so in our manifest file we have to mention that we have to make sure that we have defined the permission read context. Okay, again it may happen that we have defined the we have request permission in manifest file. Okay, so when our application will be installed, client would be asked for giving the permission, he may allow or deny. So okay, now going further, in future our application will be running, and at some point this code will be executed. So at this point, when this code is being executed, it may happen that while installation, client has denied to give the permission of reading the context. So Android is not sure about, Android operating system is not sure about whether client has given permission or not. So it expects that as a developer, while writing this code, we also check for the permission here also. So in our code in Java activity, we should check whether the permission is given at the time of installation. If at the time of installation permission was given, it is okay, but at the time of installation permission was not given, Android would not allow us to execute this code. So again, if the permission is not given, we should check. If not given, we should again request the permission that right now we want to read the context, that is on the fly permission. We should request permission on the fly, that is dynamic. So here we should check here before querying that if check self permission permission dot here Android dot permission dot read context is not equal to package manager dot granted permission granted. If it is not permission granted, okay, then we should request permissions new string. Here we should list all the permissions that we want to ask, that is here Android dot permission dot read context, okay, and flags argument request code will be 0. Okay, so now we can execute this application and check whether the list is showing all the contexts or not. So in the manifest file, I would set this activity as launcher, activity number 20. Okay, today is Asadi Beach and rain is falling. Let's execute. So this was the code that we want to need to implement for checking the for displaying the context of the content provider. It is very simple code and doesn't require so much code, but a proper explanation, proper learning, proper knowledge should be there for applying this logic. That's why we have spent so much time in the previous video in learning this mechanism of reading context and adding to content provider. If you remember, that session was very lengthy, but still it was, according to me, a fruitful session, because we have learned so many things, we have discussed so many things regarding content provider. Okay, we came across many things, we came across many errors that should be addressed while writing logic for writing code for reading context. And so today we are able to simply implement this mechanism of reading context content provider. Okay, so I would like to insist you that if you have not watched the previous video of reading and writing to context, then please also watch those videos of reading context, which I have uploaded in 2 parts due to its length, and the following these 2 videos was the writing to context, okay, using intent. You should also watch that video. So right now we have just implement and we are going to check that implementation. Okay, and right now the Gradle is in process of building. Okay, if the list shows all the records, okay, of context, it will show only the contact name. If it is showing successfully, then we will move forward and we will implement that logic of adding contact. Okay, so to add contact, what will we do? We will define a layout, and that layout will contain two things, two edit views, one for display name, that is contact name, another for contact number, and that layout, okay, will be placed on a dialog builder, okay, alert dialog builder, and that means that we will be using custom dialog box. Okay, we will define one menu, okay, in our application, and in that menu we will provide one option for adding a contact, and when client selects that add contact from menu options menu, we will present client a dialog box in which we will prompt him or her for entering contact name and contact number. Okay, and a button submit would be there. If he enters the data and click on submit, that record will be inserted in the contact content provider using intent mechanism. Okay, once these two things are done, then we will apply the event handler for click on list view. Okay, if any item is click on the list view, that is any contact is click on the list view, that contact, the number associated with that contact will be retrieved by us from the phone numbers table, and we will show that phone number which we have read if it is available in the dialer application. So again, to open the dialer application, if you remember, there is one predefined implicit intent available in Android. We have also learned and discussed that intent in the session of intents. Okay, action dial. What will that action dial intent will do? It will open the dialer application, and the phone number which we will pass as second argument will be shown there in the dialer. Okay, so it is very easy to implement code. We will learn that here. What has happened? ID does not exist. Okay, so we have to read two columns, one for ID and another for display name, because simple cursor adapter needs one column, that is underscore ID, that we forget to implement. Okay, because simple cursor adapter is an adapter which just require a source, that is cursor, and automatically it will read all the records from that source and put in a list view. Okay, so but for that it requires a unique field in each records of that source, and that unique field is predefined, means the name of that unique field is predefined. It expects that the data source, that cursor, must have a column named underscore ID. Okay, so we have to either make it available, or if such column does not exist, we have already discussed in previous videos that we can do one thing, we can give an alias name to our column as underscore ID, so it would work. Okay, see, the contacts are available. Okay, all the contacts in my current contacts application are visible. So let's move forward and just implement a menu. Okay, so let's move forward. Define a menu in the menu folder, right click and define a menu resource, new menu resource file. Here what will we do? Contact underscore menu. Okay, and in the list view, if we want to put divider, we can define it, divider. Divider height 3 dp, divider okay, and the text view, where is that text view? Here. We should increase the size of fonts in that text view. (25 dp). Okay, and the menu, where is menu? Contact menu. We will put one item inside it, and that will be for add contact, and title will be add contact. Okay, so here in our activity we want to inflate this menu on create options menu needs to be overridden. Okay, we need to override this method on create options menu, and inside this method we will return true. Okay, and before that we should use get menu inflator to retrieve the menu inflator dot inflate using it the menu that we have defined, add contact menu, and the second argument is the parent menu, that is menu itself. Okay, then another layout needs to be defined for dialog. Okay, we need to ask user to enter name and phone number. So contact, add contact layout. Okay, name of the layout, and here we will use linear layout. Okay, inside this yeah, it is vertical itself. Then one edit text. Okay, its width and height will be wrap content. We also need to give an ID to it. We will give ID as txt contact name, and we will give a hint to the client, enter contact name. Text size would be set as 25 dp. Text color would be set as orange. Okay, text style we will set as bold. Okay, and yeah, margin dp. Here we would not give any caption or title because the title will be given in the dialog box. Okay, so this edit view will look like this, enter contact name, and another edit view below it for entering number. Here we should give input type as text person name. Okay, here contact number, enter contact number, and input type will be number. Okay, this layout add contact would appear in the our activity. So whenever the menu is shown to the client, and if client selects add contact, on options item selected method will be called, and inside this method we need to show the dialog box. So we will define alert dialog dot builder is equal to new alert dialog dot builder. We would pass activities reference as argument dot class, dot this. Then we would set title builder dot set title, head contact. Okay, builder dot, now we should set the layout. So for that we need here layout inflator. Okay, layout inflator is equal to layout inflator dot from this. Okay, then view v is equal to inflator dot inflate r dot id dot add contact layout, add contact layout. It is not compiled, that's why, but it would run. Okay, no problem. Then we need to set this layout to the builder, that is builder dot set view v. Okay, then builder dot set positive button, submit new dialog interface dot on click listener. When client clicks on this submit button, okay, we need to store that record. We need to add that record in the context application. Okay, edit text. So the record is in entered in the to edit text. Edit text 1 is for name is equal to edit text find view by id, view dot find view by id. Okay, because v is the view. R dot id dot txt contact name. Okay, yeah, txt contact name. Another layout, edit text number is equal to edit text v dot find view by id. V is not final. Okay, r dot id dot txt contact number. Okay, now both these things are to be passed as argument to the intent for inserting record to the new intent. Context contract dot intents dot insert dot action. Okay, then intent dot set type, again context contract dot context dot raw context dot content type. Okay, then intent dot put extra context contract dot context dot intents dot insert dot name is entered in any dot get text dot toString. Okay, so name is entered in the edit text, which we have defined as nm, and number is in num. Again, intent dot put extra contacts contract dot intents dot insert dot number dot font, sorry, and the number is in num dot get text dot to string. Okay, then start activity intent. Okay, then builder dot set negative button, cancel, new dialog interface dot, okay, do nothing, finally show the builder dot show. Okay, let's check this code. So the logic of inserting a contact is quite simple, because as we are using intent to enter the record, insert the record in the contact content provider, it's quite simple. Okay, we can also manually insert the record by using the database SQLite database transactions mechanism, which we have already learned and implement in database sessions. Okay, but here, as I show you in the previous video, that we can use simply intents to insert the record in the contact content provider. It is quite simple and easy also. Okay, so let's see what happens. One more thing, I told you earlier that as we are using native application approach, okay, when we use intent to add contact, okay, actually we are not directly adding or inserting contact to the content provider, but what happens, the native application of the device, which is contact content provider, contacts application, would be opened. Here it is giving some error. Yeah, so I need to make it invalid and run it again. Okay, invalid cache and restart. So it would take some time. So I have make a correction. Actually there was r.layout. Okay, as it is a layout file, we need to write it as r.layout file name. Okay, actually it was id. I have misspelled it as id. So now I have corrected it, r.layout add contact layout. Okay, let's run and check. So the output of the activity is in front of us, and you can see here options menu is appearing. Add contact, builder dot show. Yeah, it is there. Add contact name, the number. Okay, submit. Context application is appearing. Save. Contact would be saved. Okay, and yeah, contact is saved, but it is not reflecting in the list. So we should do one thing here. We should call cursor dot requery and notify dataset changed. Adapter dot notify dataset changed. Okay, so whenever there is any change made in the underlying table, okay, that change should be reflected in the current data source. Okay, for that we have called the method cursor dot requery, and that source, which is our cursor, should also be reflected in the list view. List view is having data from the adapter, so we have called the method adapter dot notify dataset change. Okay, as the database will be changed, dataset will be changed, reflection would be made available to the adapter. See here, the record is appearing here right now, which we inserted in the last run. Now I click on the options menu, add contact. Submit. Save. I think we should call notify dataset changed here, adapter dot notify dataset changed. Okay, so let's add another record, another contact. Submit. Save. Record saved. Still it is not reflecting in the underlying data source. We should call this in the on resume. add a contact, submit, save. So Rohit is appearing. So whenever the dialog box is above our activity's normal execution is paused. Okay. So we need to override on resume method, because when that dialog box will disappear, again on resume will be called on our activity and our activity will be resumed. Okay. So when our activity is resumed, we are again requerying the database because it has changed, and the same notification is sent to the adapter using notify dataset change method. Okay. Now one more thing, if you like to sort these records, okay, here we can pass the method context contract dot context dot display name. Okay, so it will be sort by display name. All the records will be displayed according to a ascending order. The next part of this video I will share shortly, and in that video we will perform the remaining part of this application, that is dialing. Okay, to perform dial operation on the selected or clicked contact. Yeah, you can see here all the records which are shown are according to ascending order of the display name. Okay, now what we have to perform next is that whenever client click on particular record, okay, that record should be opened in the dialer application. The contact number associated with that particular contact should appear on the dialer application. So that is to be performed in the next application. And we have performed the display operation, list view, and we have also performed the insert operation in the contact content provider. Okay, so very little part is to be performed now, and that is the adding. Okay, when the user selects any contact from the list view, the dialer application should be launched and call should be made using dialer application. Okay, so this thing need to be addressed in the next video. Okay, so up to that, thank you for watching and be with me in the next video.